I can still see the cake. 3 layers. Frosting trembling under the weight of candles I had insisted on. 68 flames waiting for breath. My mother sat in her chair, dressed in the soft blue sweater she wore only when she wanted to feel special. She kept asking, "They're coming, right?" I lied, of course. We waited. Her hands twisted napkins into knots. The table was set for 15, every plate a reminder of absence. The night dissolved into silence, just her quiet laughter trying to hide the hurt. Not a single knock, not even from my wife. That was the night my marriage ended. I married into her family believing in unity. I carried them through dinners, holidays, even their debt. I thought love meant building bridges, even when they set fire to the foundation. My wife knew my mother was the one constant in my life. She knew what that night meant, and she chose absence. A week later, my phone buzzed. An invitation. Not an apology, not even an excuse. Just a glossy flyer in my inbox. Dad's birthday, $3,100 per person. Venmo me. No shame, no hesitation. I stared at the number, at the audacity of placing a price tag where family should be. I sent back $1 with the note, "Congratulations." Then I changed the locks. Then I blocked her number. Then I waited. The silence that followed wasn't peace, it was strategy. 2 days later, police knocked at my door. My wife had reported me, accused me of locking her out of her own home. She was calm enough to think she could spin the story, but I had prepared. I handed the officer a folder. Title deed, my name alone. Bank statements, my earnings. Utility bills, paid from my account. A copy of the prenup she had signed and forgotten existed. Every detail accounted for. The officer's eyes scanned the documents. His tone shifted. Professional courtesy replaced suspicion. "Looks like you're in the clear, sir." She underestimated me. I didn't rage. Rage makes you sloppy. I went cold, methodical. First, the finances. I froze the joint account, left her with nothing but her credit cards, maxed out within days. I rerouted her subscription emails, watched as payment failed notices stacked up like tombstones of her comfort. Second, the optics. I spoke quietly to neighbors. I let them know she had chosen not to show up for my mother's birthday, then tried to evict me from my own house. Their polite smiles hid judgment, but judgment spreads fast in quiet suburbs. Third, the trap. I knew her father's party would be the spectacle she lived for. I RSVP'd in silence. I dressed in black. I walked in late, when the crowd was fat on wine and laughter. The room fell quiet when I entered, not because of me, but because of her. She had painted me as the absent husband, the cruel son, the man who neglected family. I raised my glass. "To family," I said, and then I opened the folder. One by one, I laid out the truth on their polished dining table. A copy of the ignored invitation to my mother's party, time-stamped. Photos of the empty chairs, the untouched cake. Screenshots of her text demanding $3,100 per guest and my $1 reply. Bank statements showing her designer purchases made with money she didn't earn. Every page turned their laughter into silence. Her father's jaw locked. Her mother shifted uncomfortably. Even her siblings wouldn't meet her eye. And her? She tried to laugh it off, tried to twist the narrative, but evidence speaks louder than excuses. She lunged for the papers. I let her, because copies already lived in every inbox of her family members, neighbors, and, most importantly, our attorney. Her scream cracked through the room. "You're destroying me!" I leaned closer, calm. "No, you destroyed yourself. I just turned the lights on." Her father, the same man she tried to impress with a $3,100 ticket, told her to leave the table, told her she was an embarrassment. That was my justice. Not loud, not violent, just truth. revealed in a room that worshipped appearances. The divorce was quick, efficient. She left with clothes in trash bags and silence trailing behind her. The police never came back because her lies couldn't stand against my paper trail. Her family never looked at me the same, but they looked at her worse. My mother, she never asked about it directly. She just hugged me tighter each Sunday dinner, as though she knew I had defended her without drawing a sword. Sometimes revenge isn't fire, it isn't fury, it's patience. It's letting the truth sharpen itself while your betrayer laughs in the dark. And when you finally strike, it isn't a blow, it's a mirror. I didn't need to shout, I didn't need to curse, I just needed her to see herself the way the world now does. And I needed my mother to know. No one disrespects her and walks away untouched.